NFL trade season is here as we are less than 3 weeks away from the 2025 NFL trade deadline. Welcome into Four Verts. My name is Harrison Graham, and guess who's back? Ricky freaking Scoops. Now, he has once again deactivated his account, but he gave us a mini avalanche of some trade buzz before he did that. If you don't know Ricky Scoops, that's on you. All right, we got some trade buzz to get to. I'm a little parched. All right, Jacoby Myers. Is a trade happening soon? Ricky had this to say when it comes to the Raiders wide receiver. And remember, he requested a trade during the preseason amid contract discussions stalling out with Las Vegas. Here's what Rick had to say. Sounds like Myers is being traded out of town and won't be in silver and black much longer. Ricky leaks. Love that. A few teams come to mind. The New York Giants, tell you why in a minute. The New England Patriots, another Ricky scoop there. Pittsburgh Steelers, they've been looking for a second receiver for a while. The San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Commanders, they are going to get Terry McLaurin back, but they just lost Noah Brown for the short-term IR. He's out at least 4 weeks, and Myers would be an upgrade anyway, so a couple more teams to monitor there as well. Now, when it comes to the Giants, there's been reports already that they are in the market for a wide receiver. But then on top of that, today, literally minutes after that Ricky tweet, Field Yates had the note that New York has restructured the contracts of Paulson Adebo and Javon Holland to create almost $5 million in cap space for this year. So is a move coming? Are they trying to free up money to try and go get somebody? They clearly want another weapon for Jackson Dart, who's shown a lot of promise already in 3 starts. He's gone 2-1. Really nice performance against the Eagles in his 3rd start. And with losing Malik Neighbors, they don't want, not that it's a waste of a season, but they want to give him the best chance available to develop this year. So getting a receiver that can help elevate that room certainly makes some sense. Jacoby Myers isn't a number 1. He's a fine number 2, but he would certainly help compared to what they currently have. All right, trade rumors are starting to heat up, like I mentioned, and we're going to cover it all here on 4 Verts. We're less than 200 subs away from our next milestone of 12,000 subscribers. If you want to join the movement, if you want to be up to date on everything surrounding the National Football League and college football, hit that subscribe button today. Okay, speaking of wide receivers, the Patriots want a wide receiver. That's been reported. Ricky Scoops is on that as well, says they've been on the phone with teams and are aggressively looking to trade for a receiver before the deadline. Sounds like Drake may be getting another weapon. We'll dive into some names to monitor in addition to Jacoby Myers, which of course would be a reunion in New England here in just a moment. But I want to tell you guys first about our awesome sponsor. That is Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy at prizepicks.com/CLNS. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. I've been right a lot this season in my Prize Picks lineups, up about $600 on the year. But I did miss my last lineup, so looking to get back on the saddle. The way Prize Picks works is simple. You pick 2 or more players, up to 6-player lineups, and pick more or less on their stat projections. If you hit, you win money, sometimes up to 2,000 times your money. That's right, you can turn $10 into $20,000 with certain lineups on Prize Picks. You can follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app as well. Copy their lineups in one click, whether it's a friend, celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like. All you got to do is hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. Little 3-player lineup I like this weekend, more than Trevor Lawrence. For Trevor Lawrence, half a touchdown pass. I think he'll throw at least 1. Caleb Williams, more than 228.5 passing. And then I've got Cam Scatterbo, more than half a rushing touchdown. He had 3 his last time out. That's a demon play, which are tougher to hit. The Lawrence one, a goblin pick, easier to hit. Kind of evens out. $20 entry to win $80. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Okay, some receivers to monitor. We just broke down Jacoby Myers. He's wanted out since the preseason. He could get his wish soon. Jaylen Waddle, more on Miami in a minute. Ricky mentioned him. There's been breadcrumbs that he could be available. Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed, 2 players with the Saints. And then Jerry Jeudy, who's having a down year. He leads the NFL in drops, but with the Browns going nowhere, he could be available as well. Speaking of Olave and Shaheed, Ricky said, sounds like the Saints are now open to trading Chris Olave. They weren't willing to move him in the offseason, but that stance has changed, and the team is now listening to trade calls. The Saints have been scrappy. Spencer Rattler's having a decent season, so you're always battling that balance of like current development versus long term. If they don't want to pay Chris Olave long term, then you should probably trade him. If they view him as a potential long term piece, then I would keep him. So it'll be interesting to see kind of which way they go. Probably depends on the type of offer. If they get a third round pick, you probably move him. If it's just day 3 pick offers, maybe you just keep him. So we'll see how aggressive New England and potentially some other teams get. Okay, how about the Dolphins? Is a fire sale coming? We mentioned Jaylen Waddle on potential wide receiver trade targets around the league. Ricky also had this to say about Miami. He says they're actively shopping Jaelan Phillips. He's a name to watch at the deadline. Sounds like Miami's ready to move him. Teams are also calling about Bradley Chubb, their other edge rusher, Jaylen Waddle, and Achane, 2 of their better offensive players. So we'll see if they're willing to move off of any of those 3 players. But it sounds like Phillips is a player that is absolutely available. If I'm the Dolphins, I don't want to get rid of all my elite players, especially the younger ones. So Achane, Waddle, I might be a little hesitant there, but they need a full reset in general. And that starts with the GM and head coach. So you do have to be careful here. Do you want this GM to trade these pieces off, like if he's not the one in charge? Now, I'm definitely not buying players with this GM, but they wouldn't do that anyway. They're 1-5. Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, they need to go. Long-term, Tua's probably not the guy. They're probably stuck with him for another year based on his contract, but I think you got to find an exit strategy for him. And the roster as a whole is just not that good. Now, they have some nice young skill players that I like. I don't think Tyreek Hill's back on this team, which is kind of why I'd be a little hesitant to trade Jaylen Waddle. Now, if a team gave me a first-round pick, I'd do it, but I'm not sure that's going to be on the table. Curious to see what a Devon Achane trade would look like, maybe a third. So it's going to be interesting to see what Miami's approach is over the next 3 weeks, as clearly they're not contending this year, but some of the pieces available are young ascending players. So again, that's a tough, kind of a tough balance to have there for a football team. All right, name a player that you want your favorite team to trade for. If you're a Seahawks fan, if you're a Steelers fan, a Bears fan, a Cowboys fan, who do you want to see your team go out and trade for before the NFL trade deadline, which is 20 days away? Drop a name in the comments, and also let me know what your favorite team is so I know which team you're getting that player for. But this is the Ricky Scoops return reaction. Jacoby Myers apparently getting traded soon. We'll see if that ends up playing out. It would make sense if the Raiders move on, I think. Patriots want a receiver. Maybe they reunite with Myers, and then the Dolphins fire sale could be coming. A lot of movement expected over the next few weeks. So have us locked in here on Verts. Hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.